We are just 77 days out from the presidential election. It's going to be stressful for a lot of Americans, but we'll be talking to a political expert who never gets tired of politics. It's how he makes his living. That's next on The Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home. We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network. We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show. It is going to be a brutal campaign season, and it's going to stress a lot of Americans out. But I'm talking to a man today, Ryan Cassin. He's the CEO of Beast Digital. He doesn't get tired of politics, do you, Ryan?
Never. We take a day off after Election Day, and that's about it.
All right. Well, tell us more about Beast Digital, and have you always been in politics?
Yeah, so we started Beast in 2010, and it was a little 2-person team, and over the years we grew it to work in all 50 states, working for elected officials, running for U.S. House, U.S. Senate. We've done presidential campaigns, a few international races, and really our bread and butter is working on those federal races.
Wow. Is it fun for you?
Oh, it's a blast. No 2 days are alike. I know that in an entrepreneurial world, that's often the case, but we can say, especially in the last 4 years, that has been very much our experience.
Well, you have a beautiful website. We're going to scroll down some of the candidates that you've worked for over the years. Let's go ahead and put that up on camera. And let's talk about, like, how do you come about your candidates? Do they find you on the internet, or is it kind of word of mouth?
Yeah, so politics is a very trust and integrity focused business, as you might imagine. The people who get into it for their careers are sort of a small tribe of folks who do it for the long haul. And so you build really tight relationships, and we find candidates together. So sometimes that's recruitment. A good example of that is Governor of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt. He'd never run for office before. His campaign for governor was his first election campaign ever, and we had a great relationship with some of the other members on the team that he had selected. So it was an excellent opportunity for us to get involved in that one.
And when you sit down with a candidate for the first time, how does that conversation go?
I want to get to know who they are as a person. I want to know why they're running. And you'd be surprised at how many people, when they're running for office, whether it's re-election for the upteenth dozenth time or the first time they're on the ballot, can't answer the question, well, why are you running? And so I want to understand their values. I want to understand their upbringing and their story. I want to see how they see the world, because ultimately that's our job, is to be storytellers for them.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I want you to, on the fly, kind of do the Trump campaign ads and the Biden campaign ads.
Yeah. Well, Biden campaign ads say we'll return the country back to what you used to remember. And I think it's an especially powerful message, given that the vice president was the previous president's vice president. So I think it's a throwback to earlier, more stable, more predictable, more consistent times. The Trump campaign is going to make the issue of China the big driving force, that President Trump got the economy to the best the country had ever seen. We had an unfortunate event that came from China, and now he's the guy to go back and fix it. So when the fall rolls around and we begin to see vaccinations for COVID and the economy's primed to roar again, he's the guy who's going to make sure it happens a second time.
Very cool. Well, I want to transition to a topic that we're both passionate about, EO, so Entrepreneurs
Absolutely.
Organization, and you just had a very successful year.
Thank you.
As the president of the Dallas chapter. So tell me about the pandemic and what that was like for you.
It was incredible, because it was a front row seat to 130 different small and medium-sized businesses here in the Dallas area that were all trying to respond to a situation that affected all of us, but in 130 different unique ways. So each of our members, it was just absolutely inspiring and incredible to see the ways that they innovated, evolved, adapted, and really, when they were getting body blows day in and day out, being able to show up every single day and continue to help their business survive and thrive.
Yes. Well, I think one of the things that you did wisely as president is remind the members that this is the time when you really need a tribe. You really need folks to help you out of this forest, because I think all of us were in a forest without a map.
Absolutely, yeah. We were all, it was the blind leading the blind, but the fact that you had your tribe, I think was a really, that was the moment that EO really shined as the organization that helps entrepreneurs get through whatever life throws at them. And in Dallas, our mission is to create a deeply connected community of entrepreneurs committed to growing together. And so whether it's the deep connections that we had that allowed us to sort of weather the initial storm, or our commitment to thrive, and now this year's theme is about growth and moving on, because whether it's a new normal or a vaccine comes quickly, we need to make sure that our businesses are the ones that are now primed to be at the forefront of this new growth in the economy.
Well, it's a wonderful organization, and it certainly helped my company grow. There's a nice video on the Facebook page. Let's roll that now.
Entrepreneurs, people who take opportunities to make the world better. It's not a job, it's not a career, it's a calling, a defiant belief in our power to break the status quo. In EO, we build partnerships between people sharing this journey, fellow entrepreneurs who inspire us and make us better leaders, trusted friends standing by our side in moments of trouble and triumph. EO is a community dedicated to the advancement of our businesses, our industries, and ourselves. In EO Dallas, we focus on connection, commitment, and growth to bring this vision to life. Connection, forming deeper relationships that enrich our lives. Commitment to advancing our trades, our teams, ourselves. Growth. Together, we will achieve far more than what is possible alone. We are the DNA of Dallas, burning with a bold maverick spirit, driving change and making our mark, taking the risks that others won't. We are a deeply connected community of entrepreneurs committed to growing together. We are EO Dallas.
Very cool. Not only do you have access to these world thought leaders, but let's talk about Forum, because the mastermind group is so important to EO, isn't it? Yeah,
it's where the rubber meets the road for a lot of our members. So Forum is a small group of fellow entrepreneurs. It's your peers as an entrepreneur, and it's a monthly meeting where you're getting together and you're sharing, so many conversations are about the 95%, sort of the surface level, what we want people to see. In Forum, we get to the 5%, that deeper, more meaningful conversation, the things that we're worried about, concerned about, scared about, the things that we have doubts about ourselves. And instead of getting advice, our Forum mates share their experience dealing with the same thing. And it's very beautiful, because you see that you're not alone, and that as you go through this journey as an entrepreneur, others have already been there, and you can benefit from their experiences, and it really puts you ahead.
And can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Without question.
As any entrepreneur knows, if you make the wrong decision, you don't do things by the book, you can end up in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about EO is that while you have these deep relationships with your Forum mates, you've got a network of 14,000 other people across the globe who understand what it means to have a Forum conversation. And so you've got access to that network of literally 14,000 other entrepreneurs all over the planet who can share valuable experience with you.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for coming on. We're going to show a couple of websites, yours and then EO Dallas's. So this is yours. It's beastdigital.com. And then the eodallas.org is the local chapter of EO, and it's really one of the most vibrant chapters in America.
It really is. So we're a mega chapter, and it's one of those phenomenal opportunities. If you're looking for your tribe, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to find help, support, guidance, learning, EO is for you.
Outstanding. Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.